Yo, 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 welcome back to Winning Ways with Fred. My name is Federico, and I am your host. Guys, what a Sunday. Those games were amazing, especially that last one. Gave us all probably a million heart attacks because it was back and forth the whole time. The winner wasn't really clear till the very last second. I mean, if you think about it, the last 2 minutes, both Burrow and Mahomes had possession and could have gone and scored the field goal and had won the game. Luckily for us, because we had the Chiefs, Mahomes did that. And that was our play of the month, our biggest play of the month, Chiefs money line. And we gave it out for free to a lot of people that follow us on Instagram. That hit, biggest play of the month. And we start the year on fire. 3 winning weeks out of the 4 weeks. 201 units profited in 30 days. That's either 50% returns or 20% returns, depending on your risk tolerance. Everything's tracked, everything's posted, everything's publicly tracked daily. We have a spreadsheet with all of our numbers. We have a Discord channel with the play stamps of the plays. If you want more proof that the plays are real, everything's there for you guys. If you want it, shoot us a DM and my team will handle that. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about the games that happened yesterday as part one of the show. In part two, I'm going to talk about the Super Bowl. Before I start, though, please, 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 if you can, share the show. I don't run ads on this show. I could make money off ads in this show, and I don't because I find it annoying when I'm listening to a show and I have to get interrupted every 5 minutes for an ad. So I'm not going to do that to you guys. So please share the show if you found it valuable. If you don't find it valuable, or if you find it fucking annoying, then don't share it. That's how value exchange works. Now, let's talk about what's on the top of everybody's minds. Devontae Smith's catch in the first quarter of the Eagles 49ers game, which ultimately gave the game away to the Eagles. Let's think about it for a second. If that call would have been overturned or correctly called as an incomplete pass, do you think Purdy would have gotten injured? And if Purdy wouldn't have gotten injured, do you think the Eagles still win? That's up for debate. We can't know, so we're not going to speculate on that. But I do believe that it was a big mistake. I'm not going to say the NFL's rigged, but it was a big mistake on the coaching for not challenging that play. How do you not challenge that play? It's the first possession of the Eagles or second. It's a 4th and 3 where if you get a stop, you get the ball back, and now you have momentum because you could score first at Philadelphia, which is huge. Yet Devontae Smith makes an almost impossible catch. You could see it right away. And you let the game continue going. You don't challenge it. You don't make a stop. You don't even make commotion to the refs about it at all on a 4th and 3. That was the stupidest thing ever. I mean, the coach lost that game for the 49ers right there by not challenging a huge play, which gave the Philadelphia Eagles a touchdown. And at the end of the fucking half, playing aggressive. I mean, let's put it into perspective here. Purdy on his third throw injured his hand. He fumbled it. They got a turnover right away. Then you got to put Johnson in as your backup quarterback. You're holding up. You're holding up well. You're down 14-7 with 2 minutes left in the first half. It's your ball. You get the ball in the second half. Honestly, in that position, any smart coach, a Bill Belichick, a Nick Saban, knows to run the ball, come into half, make a better game plan with the new quarterback, and then come out and execute because you have the ball in the second half. He didn't do that. He couldn't have predicted that Johnson was going to fumble the ball. But I think knowing that Johnson hasn't really had a snap or maybe had a few snaps all season, it's a huge game. He's probably going to be nervous. So as a coach, I feel like you got to know your personnel and your players best. And I think putting in a player that hasn't played all season, really, at that position, you should take it light and be a little more conservative. But can't do anything about it. Eagles dominated that game clearly. I wouldn't be really hyped about that win if I was an Eagles fan personally, because you played an injured team, a team that wasn't 100% at all. That game probably would have been a lot different had Garoppolo been in there. You know, it was just a hobbled team. They took advantage of it, and they made the Super Bowl. Good for the Eagles. They deserve it. They've had a hell of a season. That offensive lineman is great. That defense is great. The team just it gives out that underdog feeling that we're going to kick your ass. That's how Philadelphia kind of rolls, and I love it. So it's going to be a good matchup between them and the Chiefs. Now, let's talk about the Bengals against the Chiefs game. What a game. All around hell of a game from the very beginning to the very end. A lot of turnovers that caused the game had a feeling the whole time that you didn't know who was going to take it. Mahomes kind of led in the first half most of the time. Then he fumbled it in the second half, which gave the Bengals the opportunity to come back. Then the Bengals had the opportunity to go and win the game in the last 2 minutes, and they didn't. Jones sacked Burrow. All around a hell of a game. Now, one thing to talk about, and we had the Chiefs, so I was happy with it. But did you guys see that play where it was, I believe, a 3rd and 9? 3rd and 9, yes, Chiefs. They played it, they didn't get it, and then the refs came saying that they blew the play over and to redo it. I don't know about y'all, but I've never in my life seen that in the NFL. Ever, ever, ever. In that case, the play continues, nobody heard it, and you move on. Zach Taylor flipped out, and then on top of that, the very next play, they throw a defensive pass interference or a defensive holding, gives the first down to the Chiefs. That was sketchy. I've never seen that. I had the Chiefs, but I personally found that weird. All in all, though, I mean, Mahomes basically without an ankle, because you could tell the guy was hobbling. He didn't really run around till that very last play. He pulled through. That fumble he had in the third quarter was crucial. I thought he blew the game. I thought the next series that they had the ball, he was nervous, but I think the player of the game and the play of the day was Jones sacking Burrow in the fourth quarter on 3rd down to give the ball back to Mahomes, and then Mahomes went and drove the ball down the field, and they scored a field goal and won the game. Jones, wow, hell of a sack, and he had a chip in the shoulder coming into the game. If you saw the interview he had with everybody before the game, he was saying, "I'll see you all in Burrowhead." With "I'll see you, Burrow," and he took care of Burrow, man. I believe he had 2 to 3 sacks on him. He pressured them well, and now it's the Chiefs-Eagles in the Super Bowl. It could have been either the Chiefs or the Bengals. Credit to Burrow, credit to that team. The Bengals, they're here to stay. They lost this season, but that's a team that's going to be around and probably going to create a dynasty for the next 5 years or so. Kind of like Tom Brady did, kind of like Mahomes is doing right now. I don't know about Josh Allen. I think that team will get split up. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. The point being, Burrow's here to stay. He proved he's a dog. I mean, he has proven that. And he's, in my opinion, top 2 quarterbacks in the league right now. And they're going to have a hell of a future. That team's just getting started. They're building. They have a young coach. And credit to them. They lost. There was a lot of hype for them prior to the game. And I want to say this. I believe most people took the Bengals. And Bengals were the play because Burrow had beaten Mahomes 3 times. They were on a hell of a run covering the spread. I believe 19-1 or something crazy like that. But if you took the Bengals, you should stop betting. If you bet the Bengals, I mean, you should stop betting altogether. The Chiefs were the play from the very beginning. I don't care that they lost by 3 points. I don't care that it was a close game. The Chiefs was the winner from the very beginning. We knew that from Tuesday. We saw that clear. Mahomes and the Chiefs were going to win that game, and they were going to go to the Super Bowl. Now, with that said, I did also say one thing to my clients, and I'm going to say it now to you. I said if the Chiefs beat the Bengals, they'll win the Super Bowl. And I'm sticking to that. That's a free pick pretty much. I believe the Chiefs will win the Super Bowl. Yes. I know the Eagles are a hell of a team. Yes, they opened -2. Let's talk about that a little bit. They opened up -2. And I think it's a lot due to the fact of how they played against the 49ers, that they're up. They're a -2 favorite. Money's coming in on the Eagles. And I do believe it's also because of Mahomes' ankle injury. I think that's crucial. But I do believe the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be the Super Bowl championships if there's no injuries, if there's no external factors that I'm not seeing right now, like the 49ers this past weekend. I gave the 49ers as a play on our last podcast. And obviously the injuries I can't predict, or my team can't predict. That's external factors. And that's part of the game. That's part of the risk everybody takes. Now, the big play for us, and that it did not have an injury and it hit big time, was the Chiefs. And there was no weird external factors that happened into that game, and it hit. That was our biggest play of the month, our $15,000 whale plays, which are on a 9-2 run right now. Crushing. The year started great, and we're crushing. Now, let's talk about that game. What do you guys think is going to happen in that game? I'm going to do something that I have not done in this podcast yet, and I'm going to announce a big giveaway. I'm going to give away $500 to anybody that guesses the correct score and winner between the Chiefs and the Eagles. You can either message me it, message my business page on it, AF Sports, comment on the YouTube comments, wherever. You could post it wherever, as long as it's public and everybody sees it, it counts. If you guess the correct score and winner for that game, I will Venmo you, Zelle you, or PayPal you $500. Nice. Perfect. I'll take the guess. Let's see what happens. I already kind of gave you guys my opinion. I think the Chiefs are going to take that. And I do believe if Mahomes is healthy, it's not going to be that close. I think 2 weeks is enough time to hopefully get Mahomes' injury a little better, Travis Kelce a little better. You're giving Andy Reid 2 weeks to set up a game plan against a pretty new coach. And I think coaching in the Super Bowl is everything, along with experience. And the Chiefs have it. The Eagles don't. I believe Hurts is a great quarterback, but I do believe mistakes are coming his way against the Chiefs. I believe he will become a little nervous and maybe shit the bed a little bit. I think Mahomes is going to come out with a chip in his shoulder. I think him and Travis Kelce and Andy Reid and all the players know that this is their year, as they're being undervalued. I mean, they opened up favorite, then went to underdogs against the Bengals, and now they're opening up as underdogs against the Eagles. Andy Reid as an underdog in the Super Bowl final that he's been in, and the Eagles coach hasn't. I don't know. Again, I believe coaching, I believe experience comes a long way in games like that. They opened Eagles -2. Let's see. My predictions is the Kansas City Chiefs will win that game. That's my prediction on that game. Again, that giveaway $500, Zelle, Venmo, PayPal, whatever you have. If you guess the correct score for that game, $500, easy win. So what you do is you guess the score of the game, the final of the game, on the comments, and then you take the Kansas City Chiefs in 2 weeks to win the Super Bowl, and you could potentially win a lot of money. So with that said, again, guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. Leave any feedback, message me, let's talk. I'm all about it. I love talking about sports. So if you want to chat, you want to know anything about what I do, how I do it, shoot me a message. I respond pretty fast, typically within a day or two in my messages. So yeah, let's do it. Please share the show if you found it valuable, if you found it funny, if you found it cool or anything, and feedback helps. With that said, guys, see you guys next week, and thank you for catching the show.